Hello and welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a Lego set and to hang out with all of you. And before we really get into it, I'm going to throw the Bear Cave Lego Site Tier 2 Blue emote in chat. If you're currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can just say hi or use other people's emotes. Or if you feel like being a lurker, go ahead and lurk. And then also, you got to throw those emotes in there because we are thanking Ghost Valve for resubbing. Ghost Valve for 36 months. And Ghost Valve says almost a year. It's not true, but also thank you very much. 36 months is so many months. I appreciate the continued support, Ghost Valve. For folks that are here for 1 month just on a whim or many, many months, it's wild and cool. Aristfan is here, Lashberg is here, Ghost Valve is here, of course. Welcome to all of y'all. Happy to have you here on this fine Thursday evening. I'm excited. I had a busy day. We'll talk about that as we get in there. Also, Lord Crashton says, hey, Pat, keep up the great work and get ready for this. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego Site Tier 2 Blue emote in there. We will thank Lord Crashington, who has been a subscriber for 58 months. Lord Crashington wants me to hit the dance button, and I will do that. But I got to put emotes in the chat. Also, I have to say, 58 is so many goddamn months. That's a long-ass time, Lord Crashington. You are a real one, and I appreciate you very much. Thank you for your many months of support. And then also, the lighting got weird because I moved my arms up here and my camera was just like, what's happening? One person stopped viewing during that. We dropped a viewer during that dance. You know what? Probably for the best. I don't know how much fun they were going to have watching me build Lego if that's their attitude right off the bat. If they were just like, nah, I'm good, then yeah, they probably are good. Anyway, we're currently at 39 subscribers. The goal is to get to 50. I shut up about it at 50. Also, if you want to gift a sub or become a subscriber or donate bits, you got a minute before we don't have a hype train because apparently we're close to a hype train. We're not in a hype train, but we're getting close to it. So if you want to jump on board with that hype train, you could do that. Let's go to the overhead. Okay, so we did get a hype train because the Wrist fan just gifted a sub to Ricky Guitarist. Congratulations, Ricky Guitarist. Thank you so much, Aristofan. Oh, we can do it down here now. We now have a hype train going. I forgot that I have that notification comes up when there's a hype train. We're currently at 40 subscribers. The goal is to get to 50. Okay, so here's the thing. We're going to start working on this Lego set. It's going to be fucking fun. We are working on the Lego City Spaceship and Asteroid Discovery. And we'll talk about a thing with the instructions here. And why this booklet, oh, shit. I just knocked over some Lego. Why does this 126-piece Lego set have two booklets for it? I literally knocked over a couple pieces of Lego here, so hold on. The reason why is because of this. Instead of just the top corner, it's saying what the next step is. It's doing this, like, hey, find these pieces and hold them in your hands. That's weird. All right. I think I have found all the pieces that I knocked over. If I can't find a piece that is gray or light blue, it's probably because of that. I know that this kit is part of the anniversary, of the space anniversary. That's why the box, push it over this way, right here, has that going. It's because of that. But it feels like a waste of paper, right? Maybe I'm a downer. Maybe I'm a Douglas Downer there. But it feels a bit like a waste of paper. Now, The other thing I want to talk about here as I begin this is I'm going to need your help with something, folks. You all are so great. And I mean that genuinely. You are consistently fantastic, and I am lucky to have you all and to have this community. I'm going to need you, for my own mental well-being, to please lie if you need to. If you do not think that this is bright, that the screen, the build space that you are looking at is nice and bright, if you do not think that way, please lie to me and say that it is very nice and bright and things are looking good. If it is the case, that's great. Because the thing is, I can't tell anymore, and I can't deal with the idea that you were like, that's looking pretty dark, Pat. Like, I can't handle that. Lord Crash says it's very green. That is not an answer, Lord Crash. That is neither of what I was looking for. A denial of my psychosis or supporting my psychosis. You did neither of those things. Aristophan put it in quotes, which is condescending, but also, I'll take it, Aristophan. Aristophan, I'll take it. Look, John says, I'm helping too. Hi, I'm John. Well, Lashbrook says, it looks good to me. Thank you. Thank you. Here's the deal. To properly test my lighting, I can only do it when there isn't light coming in from the window over here. And the sun goes down at like 7:45 right about now, or even 8 o'clock, as we're getting towards the longest days of the year. So right now, I had basically an hour to make sure this looked good, because I did a bit of a setup yesterday, and I was like, all right, this is looking pretty good. This is looking pretty ready for things. I'm feeling pretty confident about this. Basically, I'm shouting, I think. Do that. How's that? Check. Yeah. All right. That's still weirdly loud. I don't know why. It feels, maybe it's not loud to you. It feels like, no, all right, that'll be okay, I think. Grumpy Gamer Pat mode. So I want the lighting to be good, right? Obviously, I would like the lighting to be good for the streams. And I at certain point tonight, let's say at like 8:40 p.m., I was like, I can't tell if it's bright enough or not. I just couldn't tell. I just could not tell at all. Apparently it is, according to y'all, it is. We're looking nice and bright, or enough, or at the very least, you are telling me what I want to hear, which is that we're good. But yeah, so I bought a new overhead light to replace the previous overhead light, which I had already replaced with a different light that failed. And the previous light is fine, and I'm keeping it as an emergency, but it needs to be charged before every stream because it's not powered by. But Pat, that's 27 minutes from now. Lastbrook, I understand. I didn't say Eastern. You're right. I didn't say Eastern. You got me on a technicality, which is the best way to get someone. He says, not being actually that facetious. Getting someone with a technicality is a great way to go. So I'm keeping that thing that has to be USB charged as an emergency backup. So I ordered a new light, and it said it would arrive yesterday, and it didn't. And then it was like, oh, it'll get here today. It didn't. So I was like, well, I can use the USB charging thing that failed during Monday's stream, or I could try to make it work with what I already own. And that's what I did. There's a lamp that is in the corner of my bedroom, and it has it had a small little, one of those like halogen bulbs that's like spiral that lasts fucking forever. It doesn't put out that much light, but it put out some light. And I thought to myself, what if? What if I got some something to the table that I have? I have some of those bulbs the last 12 years. Yes, they don't put out enough light for my purposes, but the lamp is there. What if I take the lamp and I put it on my desk? Because I have a little side table here. All right, I'm gonna check. Yeah, that just seems so loud. Check. Okay, that seems better. That seems like I'm not gonna peak on this microphone. Check. Yeah, we're gonna keep it with that. So I have a little side table here where my third monitor lives, and it's where I have my overhead camera clamped to, so that my overhead camera isn't on the same surface as the table that I'm building on, so that when I move the table, only the table moves and not also the camera above me. So you don't get double shake, you get single shake if the table bumps at all. And there's room on the table for something else. So what I ended up doing was I got some boxes, small boxes, wooden boxes, and I have them stacked up, and I have them taped together with masking tape, because that will hold and not be a problem. And on top of that, I put that lamp. And then I switched the bulb out. Okay, so we want to put this on here like that and like that. Great. I switched the bulb out with the same kind of bulb that is in my main light, which is over here, which also splashes onto the table, but also illuminates me and makes this room bright. So now I have a lamp that I probably will only use for streams. Wait. Is this? This looks clear, but I don't think I have one of those. But I have the gold ones. I don't think I have a clear two with the one cap, but I have these. Let's see. Can't really see it from the back. Okay, no, that does look gold. All right, that is a gold piece. All right. It's when it's highlighted red, it doesn't look gold. That's what that piece is. Okay. So my hope is that these two lights put enough light on here that as long as they're not burned out, which eventually they will burn out, and I can just turn that lamp on and off because I really don't need it for the room, and then this light is on all the time, and then what it does do is it's certainly going to kick up more heat than the overhead light that I would turn on just for streams. That overhead light, no matter what I ended up with, every version of it never really kicked up too much heat. And this lamp will kick up more, but it hopefully means that I don't need an overhead lamp, and I don't need something that's like that I have to. What are the reasons with the overhead lamp being a problem, or overhead light, I should say, being a fucking nightmare problem, was the idea that it had to balance. It had to be close enough to illuminate what I was doing. It also had to be high enough that it didn't bleed over, because it would always bleed over a little bit right about here, but also not so low that it blocked my monitor or cut off my monitor. Aristfans, it does look clear and crisp. That's excellent to hear. I appreciate that. I know I said say it no matter what, but I do appreciate that, Aristfan. So hopefully this lighting is good. That's all I can hope, and that it won't cause any issues going forward. Light gray here we go. This is only 124 pieces. It's a 2-bag But I've opened both bags and just nulled the whole thing just because it's easier to do that. All right. Let's do a small bit of gaming news that's positive. Then we'll laugh at a thing, and then we'll get into the sad gaming news. So here's one bit of good gaming news. We'll start with the good gaming news, because there's not a lot of it. According to Super Joe Bob, the creator of Duck Game, he is getting full control of Duck Game, returned to Crompton, which is his studio. You may remember that Adult Swim Games, which shuttered, Warner had just made the decision to delist all of the games. They were just going to delist them. That was their big plan. And it became very clear that there was no one at Warner who was like accepting calls. It became like trying to help out to like transfer ownership, because Steam makes that honestly very easy. And I remember there was somebody who had said, quoted, saying like, I could walk you through it in 5 minutes, and that apparently not going anywhere. Apparently that is going somewhere. Landon says, who's Super Joe Bob, Duck Game is safe. More details soon, but the email from Warner finally came. The game is being returned to Crompton along with its store pages on all platforms. It's not going anywhere. Thank you, everyone. Hoping everyone got the same email. Everyone else gets the email. And then apparently Wario64 follows us up with Small Radio's Big Televisions is being transferred back to that developer, which I believe is a team. So at the very least, we know of a couple games that are being returned back to their developer, which is excellent. Yeah, Lord Crashington, we don't really know if it was pressure from somebody or a continued annoying insistence from a lot of people, or somebody in Warner got permission to just take care of it. We don't know. We don't know because they don't say. But apparently, emails are going out with transfers of ownership back to the developers, which means they don't have to start from scratch, and that's phenomenal. So that is, as I said, some good gaming news. There's not a lot of it out there, but I did want to mention that. Also, hey, if you're looking for a wide variety of indie titles, a bunch of big indie games that are apparently very cool all came out today. Apparently Piccolo Day is the new day to release your hot indie. I have not picked up any of those because I am on a buying freeze. So I have not picked up any games, but I have heard good things about quite a few of them. And I would probably make the ninth be with you, yeah. Piccolo Day is a good day, indeed. Praise King Piccolo. I would probably pick up that one where you're a cat walking around. That one seemed cute. That's the game I would probably pick up. I have heard good things about Animal Well, but I am predisposed to not want to play Animal Well because I don't like the publisher of Animal Well as a entity that exists out there. Little Kitten, Big City. Yeah, that seems neat. So Animal Well seems fucking cool and hard, which also makes me not super interested in that. But I'm just not a donkey guy. So I think I'm all right. I think I'm all right on that. But, I'll hear people talk about it, and people seem to have positive things to say about that game. For me, I was like, nah, I'm good. I think I'm good. All right, let's dunk on this shit, and then we'll get into the sad gaming stories. Animal Well was pretty cool, like Fez meets Metroid, and fuck Donkey. Glad it's on PlayStation Plus. Nice. Didn't know it was on PlayStation Plus. So people still use Kickstarter to kickstart things, which I'm not opposed to. I think Kickstarter wanting to explore the blockchain and telling people they wanted to do that was a real fuck you to its community at large, but they have been continuing to be a company that exists, and for people that are doing their second or third or 10th project, it makes a lot of sense because you have all those email addresses connected to their Kickstarter accounts, and transferring to another service like BackerKit can be a daunting task. But if you're just starting out and you're just starting a brand new Kickstarter, you might want to be, I don't know, legitimate and real, and not a clear scam of some sort, or perhaps, he says, not knowing the full story, perhaps you're a money laundering scheme. I don't know, but there was a card game, from developers who have never made a game. Wonders of the First. It was a card game that was using AI, and to be clear, they were upfront about that. They were very upfront with, "Hey, we're using AI art to, we're generating AI art." Now, they don't understand that they don't have the copyright to this stuff because Midjourney and Adobe and a lot of these things are getting hit with lawsuits. So to say that that they own Wonders of the First LLC have a legal copyright to game cards, packaging, marketing materials, etc. No, they don't. But anyway, that's not the reason why. It's not because that their Kickstarter got suspended, just taken down. It's not because, hey, we've got terrible AI art. That's not the reason. The reason why it got taken down, most likely, is because Kickstarter doesn't have an AI policy. You can use machine-generated content to be included in campaigns as long as it meets criteria. Here's the thing. 2,200 backers decided they were going to fund this game in only a couple days. This new developer, unheard of developer, raised $1.5 million in just a couple days from a lot of new time backers who were funding at incredibly high levels. And you're like, wow, that's weird. I wonder if it has anything to do with the NFTs. The NFTs that were campaign bonuses. Apparently, the CEO of Wonders had previously created NFT-based digital collectible trading card company, BlockPack. So here's the thing. Are NFTs against Kickstarter's terms of service? No. Are NFTs as rewards technically against their terms of service? No, but yes, because NFTs have theoretical value. They don't. But their theoretical value in this case would be IP ownership of the game, which wouldn't amount to anything and it's a scam. But you can't give IP ownership. That breaks Kickstarter's terms of service. They don't allow that. And again, 1,000 of its 2,200 backers have never backed a single Kickstarter before. That's a huge red flag. Kickstarter knows this shit. They understand. Let's see. This is summarized by Tabletop Gaming News. The Kickstarter campaign itself, which funded in a mere 26 seconds, saw an unusually high number of backers opting for most expensive tiers, which contributed suspiciously large amounts. 25 backers so far had pledged the second highest tier of $4,350, while 48 backers had pledged at the highest tier of $8,250. Many coming from the beginning, many coming in at the beginning of the campaign. This pattern is atypical for a brand new game without an established fan base and suggests prearranged backing to stimulate demand. So yeah, it sounds like a legit breakout thing. I mean, it funded in 26 seconds, and most of it at the top tier. You have low tier. You have, if you are making a game, your most profitable tier is just give me the game. And then below that is give me the game and a physical item. That sounds cool. And below that is I don't even want the thing. I just want to help you out. And below that is all of the expensive tiers and the bonus tiers. And a lot of those don't get claimed because they are incredibly expensive and not really worth it. And so a lot of red flags, clear collusion. You would not be surprised if you trace the money back to some of the people involved in it, or NFT speculators, or people involved in the NFT space because they would love to have a home run. Collusion definitely took place in this case. And if you don't believe there was collusion, if you think this is just a bunch of coincidences here, and it's just like it looks bad, but everything's good. Well, you should listen to this statement from Jeff French, the CEO of Wonders, because the game has a Discord, because of course it does. And Jeff said two completely normal and average response to, hey, it definitely feels like this is some bullshit and y'all are trying to pull a scam. Don't worry, because Jeff said, a very vocal, angry mob doesn't want Wonders to exist, primarily because of AI-assisted art, and secondarily, that they believe they are just game pieces and should be reprinted into oblivion. We don't have to guess at this. They have made it quite public. You all have likely seen them. We have seen similar mobs bring many big companies to their knees. This is nothing new. So apparently, a small, vocal, angry mob caused Kickstarter, the company that exists to make money off of other people using their website to make money, gave in to a mob to cancel an incredibly shady bunch of bullshit. With Kickstarter canceled, the team says they're going to try to resubmit it. Probably without the blockchain stuff, but who knows? But then they're going to move to just doing the whole thing through their website, which they probably should have done no matter what, but they want to have the success of a Kickstarter. But yeah, who knows if they will get it. Generally, Kickstarter doesn't, even if they fucked up, Kickstarter generally doesn't go back on a ban. Most likely, this is just it. Shit's fucked. Sorry, y'all fucked up. And tough. Sorry, but tough. That's kind of where we're at probably with this. But yeah, it seemed very suspicious, and it's fun to laugh at these fools. This spaceship is basically built, I guess. Yeah, there's going to be, I can put some treasure in there, and I can put some things in there. And this little thing we built at the beginning goes here. That goes there. And then I can I can take this off, and I could put a crystal in there. A big crystal goes in there. And then this goes back on. We're definitely going to get started on a model kit tonight. Like, I knew this is a one-stream build, but I didn't think this was like build the whole ship in a half an hour. Because we do have more to it. It's because we still have to build the asteroid thing. This is just the biggest component. We still have bag 2 to build. we still have to build the asteroid crane and then the station. Got to build these things. We built the alien and the other person. But yeah, we still got stuff to put together here. But we're done with booklet 1, and we're getting to booklet 2. Again, I did know that I would finish. I did fully believe that I would finish this in one stream, but I didn't necessarily think it would take less than a stream to do it. But I know what I'm building next. My patrons voted on what to build next, so I do have an idea of what comes next. All right, so we got to do this. There's a big story to talk about as far as layoffs go, but I do want to do the small layoff story. I believe that since Monday, there's been a big set of layoffs at a large corporation, but also I believe that there's only one small studio closure to talk about. And again, it sucks that we have to bring this stuff up, but we do. Lightforge. You may not have ever heard of Lightforge. They are a company that were founded in 2021. Blizzard and Epic Games folks came together. Some people that left, not the people that left unceremoniously because of shenanigans over in Activision Blizzard. Possibly, perhaps, but yeah, some people that had to take off there. They got a bunch of funding to work on Project Orcs. That's capital ORCS, all capital letters, which apparently was something with like creative building like Minecraft, but also RPG, like tabletop RPG style stuff. Oh, it looks like we can take one of these and put a bunch of crystals in there as well. Throw a bunch of crystals in there. And yeah, they are basically folding the company. We had not seen anything from that game. They're going to come back apparently as a very small studio. But they're basically getting rid of social media and getting rid of their Discord. They're going to have a skeleton team. And I don't know exactly what that's going to be. Matt Shembari said, basically, we couldn't get more funding. And they were regularly meeting with publishers. Now, is that a commentary on the state of the industry, that they were unable to find partners going forward? Is it something to do with the game that they were putting together? Did that not meet expectations? Was it not in a good place after so many years and it was just never going to work out? We don't know. We can't say for sure. I don't want to speculate too much on that, but that did close. That is shuttering before they got to make a game. I dropped a bunch of these and one of these fell, and so I am going to look for that here. I'll just keep kind of talking. I found it. Okay, great. Hooray. Nice and easy. I found it. So yeah, sorry for the many people that worked at Lightforge. I don't know how many employees that was. But yeah, I can click to see if game developer said how many. Let's see. They talked a big fucking game in 2021. And they had gotten investments from a bunch of different venture capitals, including Dreamhaven and NetEase, and One Up Ventures, and angel investors. And apparently that was not enough to sustain them. All right, the big one. We fucking look. This is unbelievable, but we do need to talk about it. Microsoft laid off a whole bunch of people and closed a bunch of studios. Arcane Austin, Tango Gameworks, a bunch of cuts at Bethesda, the closure of Alpha Dog Games, and they're going to delist Mighty Doom, the mobile game they'd been working on. And Roundhouse Studios will be absorbed into ZeniMax Online Studios. And if you bought the Hero DLC for Redfall, you will be able to get some money back. A bunch of people that were working on the Blade game from Arcane Leon. Apparently, Arcane Leon is still there. Machine Games still there. id Software. Bethesda Game Studios seems all right, although there are going to be cuts throughout. So, obviously, Redfall, huge disappointment. Redfall, seemingly a disappointment seemingly a disappointment within Bethesda, even before the acquisition from Microsoft when that happened. Clearly not up to snuff, not what they were looking for, but a game that probably could have had legs over time if supported. Clearly was not going to get that support. He's not going to get that support. Look, since I found out Roundhouse was the former Human Head team that was making Prey 2. Yes, they were that Human Head team. Tango Gameworks. Look, Evil Within. Maybe not the biggest cash cow in the world, but a very beloved series with a core group. But Hi-Fi Rush, so here's the thing, right? Hi-Fi Rush being ported to other places to make more money because it could only make so much money when it was on Game Pass day one with a, hey, here's the thing you can download right now. So they didn't have it for sale. Apparently did well enough and moved the needle enough. Well, they had it for sale, but it was, free on Game Pass. Free with Game Pass. But the thing, is that they were behind it, right? This is the Bethesda and Microsoft both happy to have a award-winning game, a game that did a lot of goodwill. You could argue the best game they put out last year. Like the best Microsoft game of 2023. I don't think it's wrong to say that was Hi-Fi Rush. And look, obviously, you have a game that's critically acclaimed and does well that you're happy with. That's not the same as, and you make the guy that made that the new studio head when the previous studio head leaves. That's not the same as, okay, well, what are you pitching us? What do you have next? Oh, we like this. Oh, we don't like that, right? How much more money are you going to make with Hi-Fi Rush 2? If that's a small team, does that have to be a bigger team? All that. And here's the thing. I don't have to fucking think about that because Microsoft, by buying Activision, had one of its best years in software because they just bought a bunch of people. Also, Microsoft bought Bethesda and all the studios that Bethesda owns. They made that decision. Fuck off and get the fuck out of here. And they're like, oh, it's a reorganization. They're, getting rid of resources here. Blah, blah, blah. Hello, Lysandas. Arcane Austin Studio is going to close. Some of the members were joined other studios. We don't know how many Arcane Austin folks were given the transfers. We don't know that. I don't know if we'll ever know the exact number. Game is going to remain online, supposedly. Alpha Dog Studios closed. Mighty Doom will be sunset. Of course, they use the term sunset, August 7th, and we will be turning off ability for players to make purchases in the game. Tango Gameworks is going to close. Hi-Fi Rush will continue to be available to players on platforms it is today. So here's the thing, right? Why would they need to say that to employees there? Well, they're saying that because they know that this shit leaks, right? They know, Matt Booty knows when he sends out this email that it's going to get leaked. So they're doing their press like coverage within the thing they're already doing. Roundhouse Games are joining ZeniMax Online Studios. Roundhouse does a lot of helping with other people get across the finish line, so they're keeping them. And it looks like a bunch of them are going into ZeniMax Online to work on Elder Scrolls Online, which means that then ZeniMax folks can work on other things. That seems to be the thing. They're just going to be a support studio doing the work they already did, but just focused on that. And that doesn't seem bad. That seems probably smart. And it would be nice to see more of that and less of, we're closing this award-winning studio. Unrelated, but somewhat related. Pentiment won a Peabody Award. And my first thought was, uh-oh. And that sucks. I shouldn't think, uh-oh, when a game wins an award. But I do think, uh-oh, when a game wins an award because of the world we fucking live in. And they're like, oh, we're so sorry this is happening. Bethesda is important to Xbox. Also, supposedly they're asking, they're going to be trying to reduce the workforce in Microsoft and Bethesda even further. And then Arcane Leon head, who is still there because that Arcane was not affected. Vakaba was basically just like, that's bad. Friendly reminder that video games are an entertainment culture industry, and your business as a corporation is to take care of your artist entertainers and help them create value for you. Which, yes, it's unfortunately true, very true, and hard to seem to understand. I do love this Inside Baseball, but if I read immersive sim curse from the community, especially from a fellow dev, I swear to God, please let's talk about the real challenges instead of rehashing irrational anxiety of the past. Even more Inside Baseball with the very wide range, as a wise and sorely missed man said, please stop. Great teams are sunsetting before our eyes again. It's fucking gut stab. Leon is safe, but please be tactful and discerning about all of this and respect Effective Focus voice and leave it room to be heard. It's their story to tell. Somebody had some dumb thing about how talking about unions and they should have been a union doesn't help the people who are laid off. To which Austin Walker replied like, hey, as somebody who was just recently laid off, I really wish more people had been talking about unions. Something to that effect. I'm going to see if I can find it. There's been a lot going on because that was now a couple days ago. Let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to see if I can find this again. This was from a couple days ago, so it might be a little difficult for me to find Austin being basically what I just said, but I wanted to read his word for word if I could. No, I don't know if I'm going to find it because a lot's been going on the past couple of days. So I don't know if I'm going to find Austin saying, hey, basically, we should be talking about unions more. And it doesn't make me mad to talk about that stuff. Yeah, I'm not gonna find it. Uh, I do want to mention Aaron Greenberg. Hi-Fi Rush was a breakout hit for us and our players in all key measurements and expectations. We couldn't be happier with what the team at Tango Gameworks delivered with this surprise release. And then somebody else from Xbox was asked about it and gave a very non-committal non-answer, being like, hey, you said you were, folks at the Xbox said they were happy with the game and it being award-winning and it did well in all its metrics. Why is that not enough? And she gave a very non-committal, clearly surprised to be asked that question answer that was very tone deaf. So everything's going real great over everywhere. It's rough. It sucks. My condolences to those laid off. Obviously, I don't really have a lot else to say about it. See if there's any other news we could talk about. Maybe I can dig up something that doesn't feel bad. That doesn't feel awful and bad. Let's see. No, I won't talk about that. Lightforge, yeah, Xbox probably gonna do more cuts. Let's see. Brazil is trying to support its game dev. That's nice to hear. That is a nice thing. They signed a bill, and they've been working on that for a couple of years. Game industry, more visibility and legal certainty, and possibly reduce tax burdens, foster sector growth, and create jobs. So that's good. Hopefully that'll actually do that. You never know. But that would be nice. Nice to see. It would be nice to see countries supporting their development. Also, here's a small thing. Capcom had its biggest year ever last year. Its biggest year ever was last year, which beats out its previous record of the year before. So hopefully that's great news for everybody at Capcom. That is cool. But yeah, apparently they're selling some goddamn games. It's excellent to hear. Let's see if there's any wrestling news I want to talk about here. I really don't want to fucking talk about Ric Flair. Ric Flair's an asshole. A fucking asshole. Ric Flair sucks. Obviously, earnestly, Ric Flair sucks. He was clearly inebriated at a small business and was loud and weird and shitty, and then when footage of what actually happened came out, then he was like, I overreacted, and I'm sorry, and all that, because there was camera footage. Because of course there was camera footage, Rick. It's 2024. you are somewhat known. And even if you are unknown to somebody, then you're just an old man yelling at the manager. Yelling for the manager at the manager. Yes, this was him being a dick at the pizza place. Saying that he would buy. Then also at one point he did threaten later to sue them. And he was going to sue them and buy them and then rename it. I was like, okay, Rick. All right, Rick. Sure you are, buddy. You'll show them. You'll show those evil people who weren't treating you with the respect you deserve, apparently, because a guy was in the bathroom when you wanted to talk to him. Okay. Yes, Lashbrook, Eddie Kingston with versus Okada. Getting his revenge on all of those boys. We're getting Anarchy in the Arena. FTR, who I hope get replaced with another tag team. They won't, but FTR are boring. FTR versus the Young Bucks is boring. FTR in this match will be boring to me. I don't like to see FTR in things, doing things. I would like them to go away for a while so they come back, and maybe I like them when they come back. We're not getting that, unfortunately. Instead, I'm just getting fucking FTR in their business. But more importantly, Eddie Kingston and Bryan Danielson taking on the Elite. Jack Perry in a match with Bryan Danielson. Wild to think about. Okada and Eddie gonna just pound the crap out of each other. Okada in a like, not a death match, but a no DQ fight is just funny to think about. Wild to think about. That's going to be a double or nothing. And that should be pretty great. But yes, I wish that FTR was not in that match because they're the people I am least excited about to be in that. Let's see. We know in SmackDown, there's a bunch of stuff going on with eventually Raw is going to be moving to, he's going to be leaving USA Network. Hello. Thank you for the follow. It's weird how New Japan does not really do gimmick matches at all. So yeah, New Japan Strong has kind of started doing more of the gimmick matches, like Eddie Kingston and Gabe Kidd are having a like no ropes match where like the ring ropes are taken off. So there's no, you can't touch the ropes that way. But that's kind of like more of, or the most you're going to see of that style of competition. SmackDown in September 13th will be on the USA Network. Friday, September 13th. Keep it on a Friday. And then there was a deal in place because Raw is going to move to Netflix, but because it was on USA, it'll be on USA for a short deal until it goes there. So there will be a period where USA Network has both shows because the Fox deal is expiring. That's great for me as someone that is sick of watching Fox commercials. I'm happy to watch more USA commercials. But yeah, that's going to be 13th. And that's great for this guy. And there's a long press release about all the shit they got on there. Also, if you want to watch Billy Corgan's reality show, it is now next week. It'll be streaming on the CW streamer, not on CW the network, but it will be on their CW app. Billy Corgan's reality show on the CW, which will have some wrestling involvement, but is not a wrestling show because that's not something that CW was interested in from them. They are interested in having NXT eventually, but not that. You don't like to know what shows and sports Fox has? No. I don't like to know. I don't like to hear about their Fox Nation's programming, and I don't 100% don't want to know anything about what's going on upcoming sports events on Fox. I know they're off in jail, but my main memory of watching WWE on USA is seeing that ending of Chris Lee knows best episodes. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean the lead-ins, like I have never seen a full episode of How I Met Your Mother, but I have seen now probably 50, 75 final 2 or 3 minutes of Big Bang Theory. I said How I Met Your Mother, I meant Big Bang Theory. I have watched the final couple minutes of episodes of the Big Bang Theory because that's on and reruns at 7 o'clock Eastern time before Dynamite. I've also watched the tail end of The Accountant like 50 times before Rampage or Collision starts. But I've seen that movie, so watching the end of that isn't a big deal for me because I know what happens at the end of that movie. So I'm not worried about that. All right, so let's see. We'll take out a crystal here. Let's take a crystal out, or a gem, or whatever this is supposed to be here. I keep saying crystal. It's probably not that. All right, so we have our meteorite exploration set up here. We have our little spaceship. The Accountant definitely became a bit of a meme. Totally. Or Time Cop. Tony Khan loves talking about Time Cop, which I understand because it's fucking Time Cop. I get it. All right, so here's our play set. We'll kind of just throw that over here. Who doesn't love talking about Time Cop? I know, right? So we've got our apparently this ship runs on crystals, because you can see this part here, there's a crystal, and then it turns into the battery charging. So they're charging their batteries of their ships with crystals, which is why they're excavating crystals by apparently pulling up asteroids and breaking those asteroids apart to get at the good crystals. So I guess we could put the crystals in this one because that's where they're popping out of. But yeah, and then also there's an alien. I don't know why there's this little alien, but there is. There's a little alien. And then we got our ship, which is small but cool as hell. No stickers on this kit, as I said. This kit was just the printed, screen printed decals on here. This is a fun little ship. This was a fun little build. And we'll get into the next kit that we're building after the pause for the cause, which I'll do in a moment. But I do want to take a photo of all of this nonsense because we're wrapping things up with this build. I knew this would be a short one. Thank you to the person that bought this off my Amazon wish list, who is still anonymous. I do not know who picked this up, but thank you very much for doing that. I appreciate it very, very much. It was a pleasure to put this little Lego set together. And then we're going to start a model kit. I'm glad I ran a poll because I didn't know how long this would take, but it took less time than I thought it would. Great. Let me just make sure that photo actually took. It didn't get blurry. It did. It worked out great. Okay, good. So I will have to, once the stream is over, I'll have to, break all this stuff up eventually. Get ready to, I have a box of Lego ready to go to Lego Replay to get cleaned and sorted and then sent to kids, which rules. It's good. That's the good shit to help out the kids. All right, hey, we'll at least look at this model kit. Let's get this model kit brought over here. Booda boop, booda boop, booda boop. All right, here's the new kit here. Got some parts. It is the GM Cannon 2, which has one of my favorite things, this like very light teal. I love this off-white teal kind of color. I think it just looks so good on model kits. I'm excited to work on this. We'll have to get all things sorted here. A, B, C, D, and some pod caps and some stickers, and then, yeah, and some hands. All right. Get that going. I've got these shelves here, my little shelves that I have to set up here. They're stackable, and then you can go and unstack them when you want to make up less room. Things are very nice for this, for separating out our various trays here. I believe this is a 2011 kit, I want to say, but we'll look at that in just a second. D, and extra arms one. This is a kit from 2011. I was right. I remembered. 2011, the GM Cannon 2. Should not be that long of a build, but it should be a fun build. I love the vibes of this kit. I love the look of this kit. I am very pleased to be working on it. Again, not too many stickers. Short beam sabers. Look at this. Very short. Small little beam sabers. And instructions that are very compact for some reason, but still should be understandable and readable. Should be okay. We start with the chest, as is the way. As the way one would expect. I'm going to zoom out a little bit here. Yeah, it's going to zoom out a little bit. Gives a little more breathing room. We will get into that kit, but first we're going to take a pause for the cause. Actually, even before we take the pause for the cause, I'm going to update the title of this to GM Cannon 82 HG, just so that I have the name of it written right there, so I can look at it and be like, yes, this is the GM Cannon 2 high grade. It's from Gundam 83, 0083. Okay, so I'll get through this fast because there's not too many here tonight, and most of you know all this stuff anyway. If you are currently a subscriber to the Build With Baer Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 blue emote into chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. If you are not a subscriber, please consider becoming one. We are currently at 40 subscribers. The goal is to get to 50. I shut up when we hit 50. If you want to become a subscriber, that would be rad. If you want to gift a sub, like we had a Aristofan gift today, or we had Lord Crashington renew, and we had Ghost Valve renew, which is very kind of them both. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support here through Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. If you have Amazon Prime linked to your Twitch, you get that token. You can use it for anybody. And if you want to use it for me, your friend Pat, that would be rad, and I appreciate it. I just want to check one thing real quick. But there are other ways to support me. And of course, all the things I'm going to be talking about here are optional. You're under no obligation to do that. But if you would like to support what I do here, I'm going to talk about the ways you can. And again, optional. You don't have to, but I would like you to. If you are currently considering maybe an alternative to Twitch to support me financially, well, you can always go to my Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear. There's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards at the different tiers. And today would be a great day to join because I put a poll up for my $3, $5, and $10 patrons. My $3, $5, and $10 have a poll up about what I'm going to do next Tuesday. And right now, all three options are tied together. So if you're the $3, $5, or $10 level, go over to my Patreon and vote. I put up the poll 9 hours ago. Right now, all three options are tied. Tier Maker, I'm just going to do some stuff on Tier Maker because I haven't messed around with that site in a while, is an option. Power Wash Simulator, because the very last stage in the Warhammer 40K pack, I did not finish that last thing, so I would do that for the stream. Or play Jackbox with people. because I haven't played Jackbox Party Pack 10 with people in a while. So I put it out an option. So if you're currently a patron, go over there and vote. If you're not yet a patron, hey, $3, you get to vote. And I'm going to try to keep reminding people because I would like to see a winner in there. I guess I could be a tiebreaker if I needed to and just vote on what I want to do most, which would probably be Power Wash Simulator. But anyway, we're gonna continue here. I have a YouTube channel. I'm gonna try to get through this quick again because there's not a lot of you here tonight, but I appreciate you being here, of course. I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBear. Over there, there is a thing called memberships. If you want to become a member, you could join, and for just $2 a month, you get my Tuesday video or my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. That's what I meant to say. So the video I put up yesterday for everybody, which I'll talk about later, you would have been able to see on Tuesday. So that's cool. And you could have done that if you wanted to. Let's see. Well, those are all ways there. Those are all direct ways to support me on a monthly basis. But if you just wanted to throw me a tip now and again in the tip jar, you could drop $1 or $2 in the tip jar. I've got a Ko-Fi page and a PayPal. And every little bit helps there. And everything I make through direct donations through YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps me, through Patreon and through Twitch, all goes into a fund. And I take money out of that fund and I buy model kits and Lego and such. The kit I'm going to be starting tonight, the GM Cannon 2, I was able to purchase that kit with the generosity of past subscribers to various ways. So thank you very much. We're going to build a model kit because I was able to pick that up at a sweet price, which is fucking rules. Let's see. Are there other ways to support me? I have an Amazon wish list. The kit that I just finished, the Lego set, I should say, that I just finished tonight, was bought off my Amazon wish list. It jumped the queue. Set aside everything else. I was going to work on that next. So if you have something that you'd like to see me build, maybe you want to buy something for my birthday next month. You could buy something for my birthday. I've got a bunch of stuff on my wish list you could pick up. And I'll make a dedicated YouTube video about the thing you purchased. I have some very inexpensive Lego at the top of my list. I try to price it by most expensive to least expensive to most expensive. I got model kits. I have Lego sets, inexpensive kits, expensive kits, Pokemon, Digimon, Lego of a very kind, Gunpla from a bunch of different shows. There's a very small, easy to build, shouldn't take me too long, priced very cheaply, robotic horse that I put on the wish list. But a bunch of different things that I'd be happy to build if you wanted me to. And the easiest way to do that would be to buy it. But yeah, and we get this is very expensive, hard to find kits that I would love to put together on stream. And then some tools at the bottom because it's always nice to have some tools and such. It's just good shit to have that there. Yeah, see if there's something there you'd like to see me put together because I'd be happy to. And again, jump the queue, get a dedicated video. I have a Throne wish list. That's my alternative to Amazon. If you want to support me, but you don't want to go through Amazon, check out my Throne wish list. And then the most convoluted way to support me, a thing that people have fucking done, and it always surprises me they've done that. You go to USA Gundam Store. You buy a gift card to USA Gundam Store. They send you an email with the gift card code. Then you DM me on Twitter or send me a whisper here on Twitch with that gift card code. And then I use that gift card code to buy something from USA Gundam Store, which is, of course, going to be a model kit that I would build on stream. That is, again, the way to, the most convoluted way to support me that you're welcome to do if you'd like. If you want to support me and not spend any money, join my Discord. I got a fucking kick-ass Discord, and I would love to have you hang out on there. Couple video links for you to check out. There will be a new episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club up on Monday. The current episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club that I'm promoting right now is me recommending some shows that are out this season. 4 recommendations for you. If you're struggling for something to watch this season, maybe this video will help you out. And then my weekly anime recommendation series is called Kuma Baer. It is a play on Kuma means bear, but then I spell bear like my name, Baer. You get it? Anyway, Kuma Baer is a weekly anime recommendation. It's on my Instagram and my TikTok, but I included a link to my YouTube Shorts. I'm trying to make YouTube short content, and then because I'm making them at that size, I might as well, and that verticality, I might as well also send them out to my Instagram and TikTok, because maybe they'll blow up on one of those. They haven't yet, but maybe they will. People follow me on Instagram because they've seen those. That's fun. Anyway, I talked about Inuyasha, which for people my age may feel like, or older, may feel like a no-brainer. I'm like, Pat, you're recommending a classic, but here's the thing. It's a classic, but it's also from the 2000s. And maybe you liked Yashahime, and you're like, okay, I like this story about these girls. What's up with their dads and their moms? Well, maybe you want to watch the series where it started. It's got a dub, it's got a sub. It's great. It is an action comedy, romance, drama with great fight scenes and cool music and a good dub. It's an isekai with a female-led isekai from the 2000s. Because even though it's called Inuyasha, to me, Kagome is the main character, so it counts as an isekai. But other people would say it isn't one, but I think Inuyasha is definitely an isekai. It's great. I talked about it for under a minute, try to convince you to check out that. And I even get a little personal about how I didn't like the commercials I saw on Adult Swim of Inuyasha just yelling, Kagome! And I was like, I'm not going to watch this show. Turns out I did watch that show quite a bit. And I liked it a lot. So yeah, now I'm going to talk about some other anime that I have been watching on a weekly basis. Some shows that are different shades of queer. One of them is definitely queer. The other one is maybe going to be queer, but also might just be teasing us with that. But we'll get into that in a moment. First, I need to dramatically transition to the overhead camera so we can start working on this model kit, and I can tell you about this anime I'm watching. But I also need to drink some water, and we need to dramatically transition right now. All right, let's get into it. Polycaps, and then our pieces here. We're working on the. Oops, sorry, I shook the table, which shook the camera. My apologies. We are starting with our green here, working on our chest. So that's going to be C6, which is right there. And now we get to see if this new lighting looks okay for darker model kits. Seems all right to me. Seems pretty bright. Honestly, the camera is a little brighter than it is for me here in person, which is perfect. That means that my the settings I have on my camera are looking pretty good. So that's excellent news for your friend Pat. Okay. So we're going to talk about some anime here. Let me get that loaded up. Do I have this ready? I do. Anime chat. Talk about 2 anime that I'm watching. Whisper Me a Love Song and The Many Sides of Voice Actor Radio. Whisper Me a Love Song episode 4. If you've not been watching this series, you should fucking check it out because it's really fun. It stars Yori, who is a musician, and Himari, who is in love with your singing voice, but not your in general. And Yor is annoyed by this because she is just like, well, we should just be dating. But they're good friends, and Himari's not really sure if she can respond to the feelings that she has been given. Yor is trying to convince her to date her, basically, by doing what attracted to Himari to Yor in the first place, which is perform live. So there is a band with some of her friends are in, and she's just like, I think I should join the band. And they were like, what made you change your mind? And she is, in a way that I appreciate so much, not keeping secrets, is just honest and earnest and says, it basically explains yeah, this girl I like, who kind of told me the wrong thing, yeah, I'm doing this to impress her so that I can continue to date, so I can actually date her. So she falls in love with me. And you know what? They're like, all right, well, thanks for joining the band. Because if Himari sees you're playing the band, then she might like motivate and maybe just kind of fall in love with her. Aki, who has been her friend for a very long time, and we get the sense that has feelings for Yori, I should say, is like, yeah, all right, welcome to SS Girls. Um, so basically, Yori has to attend practice a lot, which means that she and Himari can't hang out all the time because they've been hanging out a lot. They've been they've been hanging out all the time. They're not going to be able to do that. And so there's some worry about that. Um, Also, Yori tells Himari like why she's joining the group. And I love that. That's one of my favorite things of this story is that Yori is just like, I'm, yeah, she's very honest and earnest with, like, she is trying to run a scam, but she's honest about that scam. She's like, yeah, no, I think, like, if you were first attracted to me singing, then I'm going to do that because then maybe you will think about wanting to be with me. And I think that's great that she's just honest about it. But she's also like, is this make me seem desperate? And Himari is like, no, it's all right. I still think you're great. And then she's like, actually, it would be kind of nice if she didn't say that out loud, but she's like, it'd be kind of nice if I actually did fall in love with you. So we'll see if that leads somewhere or not. So they gotta join there. The girls are practicing. Everyone has to improve on some stuff because it's not the easiest thing in the world for them to suddenly mesh, but they're kind of excited about it. And then Yori's like doesn't hate this thing. She doesn't hate the idea. They have some shows coming up, so they gotta practice that. And Yori's like, all right, well, I'll work on this stuff. So she is. Even if she is doing this for ulterior motive, she is at least gung-ho and not that disinterested with trying the stuff out. So that's nice. Sorry, I have to make sure I do these arms right. Arms got to go in properly, everybody. Got to do the arms right. Can't do the arms wrong. I believe I did this correctly. Of course, as always, we'll find out later if I fucked it up, but I think I'm doing this right. Yeah. Yes, I believe I am doing this correctly. And then goes like that. And then this goes like that. All right. Yes, I think these are in, and then we'll find out at some point if they're not correct. But I believe I am doing this correctly. Yep. All right. Yeah, these seem to move right. Again, this is a kit from 2011, so even if it's like, if I'm doing it correctly, it still could be a little bit of a janky mess. You never know. You never fucking know. And then this lovely color, which, again, I can't properly identify. It's like a very light teal, but it looks pretty great. And then a little bit of gold, because you got to have a little gold on a kit. Just a little bit of gold. Let me keep going with this episode. Himari doesn't know how to spend, because while Yori is in this band, Himari's like, I don't know what to do. And it's recommended that she join a club, and she can maybe like find a club to do in her free time, like when band practices. She has trouble trying to find one, and there's like a lot of nonsense about that. And then it's like a little chunk of the episode. Then a mysterious girl who later we learn is named Momoko. I have my notes, Momoko. Momoko eventually is just like, mysteriously in baking something. She's like, come on, come on. She's baking cookies to encourage people to join the club because apparently the cooking club only has 4 members, and later we find out 2 of those members don't fucking show up at all. So it's just Momika trying to convince our girl to join the club to bake some stuff. Um, and they don't get to hang out as much now. Yori gets jealous when she learns that the cooking club is only going to be Kimmery and one other girl. And then she also like apologizes, like, hey, sorry that I got distracted there. But it's the first time that she's ever felt like jealous. And she's just like, who's this girl getting to spend all the time with the girl I like? I'm doing this other thing just so she'll like me more. And she's just like kind of a little distraught. And it's interesting to see because Yori is experiencing, jealousy, the new things for her. Let's see. And then shit gets kind of real at the end of episode 4. Aki talks to Himari about Yori, and he's like, well, are you in love with her? Or have you fallen in love with her? And Himari's like, no, I haven't. And then we find out that Aki is in love with Yori and says, hey, you should let me have her. And that's how the episode ends. And that's something that we kind of assumed, but like Himari's not like, she's dating Yori to see if she'll fall in love with her, but like hasn't. But also Yori's never expressed an interest in Aki, and Aki's never brought it up. Where's this gonna go? Drama is unfolding, everybody, and I love it. This is some good queer drama happening right now. Also, the music sounded pretty good. It always does, but we haven't really heard much music lately. But yeah, music in the show is pretty great. You may say, Pat, I thought you did not like idol shows. And the answer is yes, I don't particularly love idol shows or music-themed shows. But this is not a music show. This is not a music show with some drama. This is a romance show with some music. And if it becomes more about the music than the dating, then I'll be less interested. But right now, it's more about the means to the end, which is music is the means to the end to get a girl to like a girl. And it's pretty damn good. Oh God, this episode of fucking The Many Sides of Voice Actor Radio, episode 5. I was yelling when I was watching this. I was just like, who's this fucking bitch? What's fucking happening here? I got real fucking pissed off about this shit. Because last episode, they solved their problems. Theoretically, they solved a bunch of problems with their somebody revealing their real names and what school they go to and all this other stuff. And there was a scandal with Chica, and like, is she trading favors to get work? But no, that was her hugging her dad, and it's okay, and all kinds of stuff was coming out. And they made this big dramatic plea to the radio, and they're getting more viewers, but is that going to lead to more problems? And yeah, the answer is yes. It's going to lead to more problems. Yumiko's manager is basically just like, you have to apologize to the head of the group, of Blue Crown. And basically, she's just like, I apologize. Basically, she's like, sorry, not sorry. She's like, I apologize, but I don't regret my actions, and I would do it again. And then it looks like he's going to start really laying into her, and she immediately recognizes, wait a minute, you don't want to yell at me. This is a fucking plan. Apparently, the manager set her up because her manager wanted Yumiko to like deal with the consequences and have like a moment, or like basically she got set up, and he was just kind of playing along. Manager president, they'd already talked about it. And he's basically just like, yeah. He also, it's very clear he did not want to play bad cop, and he was like very relieved when she figured out that that there were shenanigans afoot. He seems just like very, very pleased that he doesn't have to yell. I love this clear piece right here. I love his eyes. Instead of stickers, we just got a clear piece right on their head there. And then we're going to put more parts on here before we do any panel lining. 17, 18. There's one sticker that's to go on. Our first sticker, and then our second sticker will be on the back of the head. We got to put a sticker on here, which we will in just a moment, on the back of this head, and some antennae. So yeah, she's not really going to get chewed out here. She's also kind of aware that she's not going to get chewed out. Let's get these two stickers on here, shall we? It's so early now that we have symbols instead of numbers on here, so I have to be very clear about which of these stickers is the ones we need. Oh, these are almost identical. Let's see, that's this one. This is the back sticker, which means that this is the front sticker. Okay. Very tiny stickers here. This is the back sticker, so we'll put that on here. It is a sticker no one will see, but we still want it on. Whoop. But we will see the front sticker, so we're going to be extra careful with that. Again, tiny stickers here. All right, so yeah, but he's like also happy that it seems like he helped Chica out. So he's happy for the crew. And then we have Chica's manager. So Yumiko's manager is like a big older sister, like cool, confident, awesome character. Yumiko's manager is more of a nerd. She's definitely more of a clumsy bookworm nerd. She's got them anime eyebrows that are just like weird, like they're tiny. They're like little tiny cylinder eyebrows. They're not real eyebrows. They're just like bits of hair. I don't know how to describe it, but she's got weird eyebrows. But she's also like really experienced, and she's happy Yumiko helped out. But also, Yumiko's manager is just like, hey, honestly, I'm proud of you. I wish that you would worry more about your own career and less about other people. But I know that's part of who you are, and I'm proud of what, I'm paraphrasing here. But basically, she's proud of her, which is nice. And it's kind of that thing where she's just like, Chica's just kind of like, okay, well, you kind of bounce back and forth there. You're kind of bouncing back and forth about how you feel about me, and it's kind of annoying. Which I think is neat. It's like, yeah, honest of her just being like, make up your mind. All right. Forehead piece on, and then we have to put this piece on here, which looks like this. All right, front of the head is done. Just need to do the back of the head here, and then we can move on. This kit is coming along swimmingly. Okay, and then we run into the girl that we saw in the last episode, the end of the last episode. Mekuru Yubisaki. So Mekuru we'll just call her probably because it'll be easier. All right, so that's going to be 39, and that's going to be 38 on this side here. And she is the bitch that I mentioned earlier. She is incredibly successful, and here's the thing. Like any good wrestling heel, or the best wrestling heels, she says a bunch of bullshit that is clearly awful and sucks, and she sucks for saying it. But she's not wrong. She has a point. It's just the way she's making her point sucks. Okay, so I have to figure out how these fit in here. But basically, she's just like, thanks for showing how it, like a scandal is still a scandal, even if it's been cleared up. Thanks for showing how weak Chica is. Her career is pretty messed up. So are you. And it's like, you're third rate. Keep your shit out of my face and stop fucking up so obviously. Like basically just being like, she screwed up, you screwed up, the two of you are annoying because now this stunt of yours makes my life harder. Because now people are skeptical of voice actors, and if the voice actors are the real versions of themselves they're presenting, because of your little thing about how you're tired of being fake and all that, and now I have to work harder because of your mistakes. And it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, she's not wrong, but she is wrong for saying it. She's wrong for being a jerk, but she's not wrong about what she's saying. It's just the way she's saying it. Sorry, I gotta get this piece to fit in. It's not. This piece fits in just fine. This head is weird. There it is. I might have to glue these pieces in with a little liquid cement. We'll see. But I'm going to hit this with a marker. See if I can clean it up a little bit here. Have it look kind of nice, maybe. It's not going to need much, This kit already has the nice orange, clear. That's going to, the clear orange. It's going to make this look really nice. Anyway, doesn't really need many panel lines, but we can still do it. So clean it up, try to make it look nice. And let's see. And apparently, one of the issues of the quote unquote like exposing the business, one of the issues they're funding in is they're having trouble getting some work. Because people are pissed off about it. That's both Chica and Yumiko. Also, their social lives are kind of tough. And Yumiko has a big idea. Yumiko's big idea is to take Chica and dress Chica up like a Giru, like in a disguise. And so we get to see Chica do dress up. And it's weird, but not bad. And so we get some more of this, like, is this subtext or text of, like, them changing and being around each other and, like, hanging out and having a good time and, helping each other out, but also maybe romance vibes or at least some sort of attraction, perhaps, but maybe not, but maybe yes, but maybe not. So it is a weird like mix of those things where I'm like, what are we trying to do here? What are we trying to do with this? Like what are we doing with this thing? Also, I realized I don't know if I did this correctly. I don't know if I put on this part of the head here correctly or not. Sorry, let me just. Yeah, that's right. That looks right. Yeah, okay. I don't know. Yeah. Is that wrong? It's supposed to be like this. Yeah, all right. There he goes. This head. I had this head, piece of the helmet on wrong, and now it's looking good. Hey, we just got raided by Puppet Jared. Thank you so much, Raiders. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I build model kits and Lego sets. We are currently working on the GM Cannon 2, which is a model kit from the year 2011. which is a wild time for model kits. It was a good year. They were transitioning. Around 2014 is when you get what I would consider the modern era of Bandai model kits, and the 2011 is a little bit of the like 2000s, still trying to figure some shit out about model kits era. Um, Graduated that year, hell yeah. Um, the set that we finished earlier, we finished a Lego set, a Lego City spaceship set, and I'll show that off right now. It's small little set. This was like a 1 hour and change build. So you get a little tiny little spaceship here. You can see in the title, Lego City Spaceship and Asteroid Discovery. So you get a tiny little spaceship, and then you get like the asteroids. You get a little alien friend, just a little alien friend, and then you also get the this kind of little set here because they're taking crystals and they're turning them into power. You can see there the crystals equal power, so that's how they're fueling their spaceships, is with crystal power, which is fun. That's a fun little bit of business. Also, you get a metal detector, and that's just a funny little thing to include in this space set. So I built that. I did all of this in one stream, and then I've started a model kit, and it's going pretty well. Building has been good tonight. I hope you enjoyed whatever the fuck Jared was showing you. If it was a cartoon or a live action, I'm gonna look this up here. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that very much. I do want to see what good old Jared was doing tonight on the cartoon dumpster. Heavy hitters night, weirdest episodes. Okay. Oh, all right. So just like a montage, a menagerie of weird episodes. Yu-Gi-Oh! Crystal Power. Yes. Yu-Gi-Oh! All right. Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters. Okay. Early Yu-Gi-Oh! Dub is very fun to watch because because it's a fun anime. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a fun anime. So that's always fun to go back to. But also, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is very fun to go and listen to the early episodes so you can hear Critical Role's own Sam Riegel just doing a bunch of voices in that show. Like, obviously, Sam has done many anime and American cartoons as well. But he was very prevalent on Yu-Gi-Oh! When they were first starting out. Because he was the original Tristan, and then he started voicing like a bunch of extra characters because they moved production slowly to LA. He wasn't in LA then, but then when he moved to LA, he just got a bunch of stuff. But he was the original voice of Tristan on Yu-Gi-Oh! And Sam is a very talented voice actor, but in the early 2000s, he was commonly hired to be Sam. So you could just hear his voice. It's just Sam. He plays an evil clown man, duelist in one thing. And it's just Sam, like a little more high pitched than normal, but it's very Sam, and it's great. I'm not going to dive too much more into. I was talking about an anime episode that I was watching tonight, which is the anime The Many Sides of Voice Actor Radio, which is very good and I think queer baiting. Anyway, that episode ends with finding out that our main characters have to go and be on a show hosted by a girl who was mean to them earlier in the episode. That's the next episode. They're gonna have to be on the live show of a girl they don't like, who doesn't like them. The drama, it's wild. That's a fun show. Many Sides of Voice Actor Radio. It is the queer bait show of the season, I think. And again, it could turn out to actually be text. It could be an actual queer show. Like Whisper Me a Love Song, which is on its surface, in reality, explicitly a show about girls dating. Like that is, whereas Many Sides of Voice Actor Radio seems like they might be trying to appeal to people and trick them into thinking this is going to be really gay. And it might not be. It might be baited. It might be full of subtext and teases. We don't know. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's just a... At the very least, it is a show about voice actors and idol life that is a comedy and a pretty good one of those. So that is nice. And I do like to see those kinds of stories. I like to see those kinds of stories appear in anime. That's nice. Speaking of watching things, we have some time left on the stream tonight. We're going to hang out for a bit. If you have been watching anything, it could be anime, could be a show on Netflix or Amazon Prime or something. If you're watching anything, you went to the movies this week and you want to tell me about it, feel free to do that in the chat there. If you're watching anything, if you're playing any video games, I will tell you that I got back into Balatro. I had taken a long break from Balatro because I was playing it too often and getting very frustrated. There was a patch. There was an update. Some things got nerfed in Balatro and other things got boosted, and they changed how some of the late game is, and that has been very good for my enjoyment of the game. Also, it's because Hearthstone, I'm just losing all the time in Hearthstone. So I'm not taking a break from Hearthstone. That's still my daily game. That still plays. I still play, like, while I'm eating lunch. I still end up getting some games in. But yeah, there's an update to Balatro. I'm back in it. I'm having some success in there. They didn't fuck with a lot of the shit that I want. They fucked with some stuff that helps me out, and they didn't fuck with too many things that would bum me out. If that's not a great explanation, I know. I understand that I did not do a particularly fantastic job explaining that. But basically, the changes that were made benefit me, and the changes that negatively affect me were not too severe. But for other people, that could really screw them up. So your mileage may vary. B19. Let's see. Lashbrook says, I watched Brad Shoemaker of Nextlander, play Fallout 1 today, and I think I'm going to finally follow through on my plan to mod the hell out of Fallout 2. I haven't gone back to Fallout 2 in years. So I never played Fallout, and originally I never played Fallout 2. I watched a roommate play Fallout 3, and I helped him make decisions. That was a really good time. That was our late night cool down. He would show up at my work, and then we would go, because he had been doing stuff at night as well. Then we would go back to the apartment, and then he would turn on Fallout 3, and I would demand he do things or make suggestions, and it was a lot of fun doing that. And then I played New Vegas on my own and loved New Vegas. Then I went back and played Fallout 3, and then of course played a lot of Fallout 4. And I have played Fallout 2 for about 45, 50 minutes, and it didn't click with me. And I could appreciate the idea of maybe with some mods getting into that shit. I played a few games of Fortnite because I logged in to get the Zoidberg crab walk emote, and then won a few games with friends. Hell yeah, Mjon. Mjon, I love the priorities of, well, I better just check. I better play this game. I better get the Zoidberg crab walk. And then while I'm here, I might as well play some games. Oh, look, we won. I appreciate that. I appreciate that quite a bit. Is this right? This looks correct. I think this is right. As always, friends, I always say this. Actually, I don't think this is right, so we're going to pop this open. Sometimes I fuck up with these kits, but you can always do your best to fix it if you fuck up. Do plastic snap pieces want to come apart easily? No. Is it possible? Of course it is. You just have to be a little careful, and also I've been doing this for a very long time, so I'm getting kind of okay. Last time you played Fallout 2 when he was losing your job. Lashbrook, full circle. Opezi says, oh yes, a cannon suit. I have a deep love for gun tech and its relations. Any mech with artillery on their back is a good mech. Yes, I love a shoulder cannon. I love a weapon on the backpack. A weapon on the backpack is my happy place. Always looking forward to that. All right, so this is going to look like this when it's on there. So this piece is correct. This piece is on here right. Is the bottom piece on here right? No, I think I put the bottom piece on wrong previously. It's going to want to look like this. Okay, so when I put this all together, I might have found out that I did this wrong, but right now this looks correct. And we're going to go with this being the way it's supposed to be done. This does seem right. But again, if I messed it up, I can hopefully fix my mistake. And then it'll be easier when I do the other arm at a later date. Judd says, I feel a little bad being involved in the capitalism and FOMO of cosmetics, but I feel like a dance or two a year is on the buy a fancy coffee occasionally scale. John, so like, look, Fortnite is free, right? So microtransactions are how a game like that is successful. Now, is there a world where there is a fee that you would pay so you didn't have to be bombarded with that stuff? Yeah, I think there's, yeah, you want to support devs, not necessarily the corporations. I totally understand that. But when a game is free to play, I think if you get a lot of enjoyment out of it, a few cosmetics here or there, I think is okay. I understand that when a game is very popular with young people and the need to have the latest thing and the coolest look and not to be like basic is there, and that's a shame. And I don't love the idea of kids feeling like they have to have the latest skins and cosmetics and effects when they win, and not having that is a social status. I think that sucks. I'm clearly not happy with that. But in the scale of like, I don't know, that's cute and fun. I spent $1 in American money years ago to have a mask that the black mask that went over that was my Xbox avatar, because I thought that mask looked cool, and it was 40 Xbox points, which was the equivalent of $1 or something to that effect. And I just thought that looked neat. This mask is cool. I don't know. I'm going to fucking buy it. It was the only thing I ever bought. Is this the right piece? No, this is the wrong piece. I need C15. Grab the wrong piece. What am I even fucking doing? I need C15. But yeah, I thought it looked neat. And sometimes people saw avatars. And so it was nice that people that saw my avatar got to see me wearing that mask. And I thought that was a fun bit of business. I don't know. I liked it. That is cute and fun. Yeah. I don't know what, I don't want to know how much I've spent on Apex over the years. Yeah, I hear you. Lashbrook says, I watched the first season of Last Week Tonight since they uploaded it to their YouTube channel during an off week, since they're not really available any other way. Unsurprising that a number of their topics from back then are still relevant. Yeah, that is not surprising. Yeah, you're right. It's totally reasonable and understandable that early episodes of that would be touching on things that were relevant today. That's cool. I did not know that those were up. Yeah, and it would make sense that that's an easy way to watch them on YouTube. Twisted was here, says, I just ordered HD Rising Freedom and pre-ordered the HD Mighty Strike Freedom. Nice. You've got a lot of freedoms coming your way. Yeah, that Strike Freedom looked nice. I'm not in the market right now for pre-ordering anything. I thought there were a couple things that looked pretty cool that were going up. But yeah, I have one kit that's pre-ordered. I only have one kit pre-ordered that is coming to me in, I believe, July. And I am excited for that. But yeah, I don't have a lot of pre-orders out there. I've been doing a lot of getting shit right away and then having it. No, I have not seen that movie. No, I don't love that series. I think some of the model kits are great, but I don't feel I have not felt the need to go out and check out the movie. I will at some point. Nice, yeah. Also, I'm not much of a movie goer these days. I am in a big enough, well, I'm not in it. I am next to a big enough city that I do get some of the anime movies that come through, so I can watch those if I wanted to. But just right now, I am not big on going into a movie theater these days. Folks that came in from the raid, thank you very much for being here. If you'd like to hit the follow button, I would love that so you know when I'm going live. I build model kits on Mondays and Thursdays and Saturdays. And then on Tuesday, I do something that's not model kits. That's my bonus night. It's usually playing video games, often simulator games or Pokemon games, a bunch of different things. This past Tuesday, I checked in with Mars First Logistics, which is a fantastic game where you are building drones on Mars to transport items from one location to another. And so you have to like figure out how to get the item and hold the item and then transfer the item through terrain, rough terrain, and then deliver that item. And it is a fun video game that I have enjoyed quite a bit. And I played that on Tuesday, and I think it worked out pretty great. You wanted to see, the last movie you saw in theaters was Gundam Narrative. Oh, there you go. Judd says, I got to see Spy Family local theater a month ago when they had it. They usually don't get anime movies. That's awesome. That's fun. Yeah. So I am going to wrap up here for the night. We did get a lot of Lego done. We got our model kit started. This was a fun evening. I'm happy to have a raid and some people that haven't been here in a bit come and hang out. It's very nice. Welcome. Happy to have you here. Again, as I said, we are going to go on a raid. Well, I didn't say this yet. Stream is over. But much like we were raided, we must end this stream by going on a raid of our own. It's only right and proper that we raid. As John says, we always end with a raid. And so we're going to go find someone doing cool shit and go hang out with them who is streaming right now. Also, I always try to make sure that I'm raiding people who are awesome. That is a goal of mine, is that we're going to go raid people that I know are cool and fun. Like my friend P2. Player 2 is online. P2 is playing another Crab's Treasure, Crab Souls, or the Dark Souls with Crabs, as it is somewhat accurately called. But yeah, we're going to go check out another Crab's Treasure. That game is fun. I've enjoyed watching a lot of people stream that. And yes, P2 is very good people. So we'll go give P2 a raid. I know P2 from my days doing work at various conventions. Thank you all so much for being here. Hope you have a great rest of your evening. Hope you'll come along on this raid. Reminder, my next stream is Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll be continuing to work on this model kit that I started tonight, the GM Cannon 2. And I want to thank you very much for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. Thanks for coming. Come on this raid, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.